So here we are actually on my phone. That's right, my iPhone, you guys. And what we're here to actually talk about is none of these apps that, as you clearly see, pretty much every person probably has. But the one we're talking about in particular is right here, Yugipedia Deck Builder. And let me tell you, in my opinion, this is without a doubt one of the best apps that any player can have on their phone. It gives you the ability to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anywhere you go. Now, I know you guys are going to say, Slim, it's not the same thing. When we break this app down and I talk to you guys about why I feel this is one of the best apps you can have on your phone if you play Yu-Gi-Oh!, I think you'll understand it more. So, as you guys can see, the app loads. It updates every time you open it, which is nice. It has a feature where it constantly is trying to fetch new card images. And, it looks like basically a search database. So, if you wanted to search for something, let's just say we're looking for Phantasme. So, I can't spell, but yeah, here we go. So here's Phantasme right here, and you click on it. It gives you an image of the card, gives you the stats on it, and it lets you read the effect. And all this I'm doing, you just slide up with your phone and whatnot. Gives you all the information. You also have the ability to, if you see up here, there's a plus sign, and the plus sign lets you add it to a deck. So let's say we're adding it to a deck, and you just add it to a deck. You do that, and you click add. So there's that. I really like that. It's just a really good tool. Also, if you're unsure about a card or someone mentions a card, you can literally just type it into this database and figure it out. I'll be honest, I never knew when everyone was like, oh yeah, that Sky Prison thing, number 68. I was like, what are you talking about? And I literally would just type it in and be like, oh, that's the card, and literally just read about it and just be like, oh, okay, that's why they were playing this card. As you guys saw in my Pure Thunder Dragon deck profile, which is also on this app as well, so that'll be really, really cool when we get to that. But it's a really good tool to start with because it's literally a card database. You can literally just search any card you want. I know people always do that with checking out prices and whatnot, but this is different. To me, this is just when someone mentions a tech, you see something mentioned in a video, you see something mentioned by anyone, you see it online, and you're really unsure, you literally can just search up the card, and it's really, really handy. Next, we're going to get to the main part of the reason why I love this, and this is the deck builder. So I'm messing still with, the Thunder Dragon deck. I shaved a couple cards off of it, but the thing is, you basically can build a deck on this app. Now you guys can see, I can scroll through and you'll see the entire deck list. It should look very familiar. I cut a couple hand traps in case you guys were wondering. I cut to 2 Phantasmes and stuff like that, so it was pretty important. I just wanted to have a little bit more consistency with the deck. I'm still trying things, but of course, you can see the entire deck. You can see the extra deck. And I still haven't built a side deck, but you have the option to do the side deck too. So very, very handy when you're, when you just want to build a deck. So it's how you build a deck. The only thing I wish this would do is I wish there was a way if you flipped your phone horizontal, would you be able to see everything? You actually do not. So everything is in the vertical mode, but once you get used to it, it's pretty handy. So there's also a very important feature up here. If you guys are looking at this right now, one thing is this app does have ads. You do have the ability to remove the ads. I'll show that too, but for now, we're just going to go with the, just the regular settings. So you're able to sort your deck as well. You can sort it by card type. You can sort it by A to Z type, attribute, all those things. It's very similar to kind of when you're sorting your deck online on Dueling Network or something like that. But, very simple. But up here is the main thing that makes me just absolutely love this app, and it is the play button. You click this play button up here, and it shows you this thing, and it says, would you like to test on the new link field or the old field? So apparently you can still kind of play old Yu-Gi-Oh on here. Now this is for someone who wants to play traditional or wants to play before Master Rule 4 and all that. But for those of us that are trying to test, we say new link. Okay, and as you guys can see, you have a field. You have a one-sided field, and you get to solitaire. Now the way this works, you have your extra deck there, you have your main deck here, and all you simply do is just touch to draw. 3, 4, 5. Now as you guys can see, I have a hand, and you're wondering, okay, well, how do I solitaire? It's pretty simple. One thing I've always said about Dueling Book, Dueling Network over Yugioh Pro is that it was manual. You had to perform all the functions, you had to perform all the plays, and by doing that, I felt that you kind of learned your deck more. This pretty much does the same thing. If I want to activate Instant Fusion, I have to move it and place it on the board somewhere. Say I want to play it in the Pendulum Zone, or for whatever reason, say I place it there. Okay, there, activate. and then literally you go up here. You can see this button up here. It says test. You have an eye, you have a shuffle, and you have a reset button. So the shuffle will shuffle your deck. The reset button will start the game. And the viewer, this is the viewer that I just clicked on, the eye, lets you view your deck, your extra deck, a card, and we'll just search here. So we'll get the old man. We'll get Kaminari attack. So I selected Kaminari attack, and I simply just add it to my hand. You can see the little hand icon up there. Add it to my hand. Okay, and what you do is with that, you add it to your hand so that you can then place it in the extra monster zone. So that's how you play that. And right here where I put my instant fusion, that's the graveyard, and that's the banish pile. So you have that. And say you wanted to start comboing off, you simply could just go like this, summon, like I normal summon Dragon Matrix, and I link these two. And say I wanted to just do that into some summon summoner. I know that's probably not a good play, but it's just to show you guys for example reasons. Like I could have gone into Titan, etc. I probably should have just gone into Titan, but that gives you the option. And then okay, you would then trigger Matrix. So how do you trigger Matrix? You trigger Matrix by again hitting the viewer and searching through your deck. You literally just search through your whole deck, grab the Matrix, and then this is where you shuffle. Now, you could shuffle once. I'm weird. I love to just make the things spin to, like, really, really shuffle the deck. But, there's your option right there. So, if we were to perform that play, even though I don't think that is the correct play, you could do that. We could just hold the Matrix back in hand and put this back. And you have the option when you put a card back to the deck to add it to the top, add it to the bottom, and add and shuffle. So I'm going to click add and shuffle for this purpose. And then, if we wanted to redo this play and do it properly, we could do this, banish this, banish this. You could summon Titan, and then Roar would trigger since Roar was banished. And you search, and it specials your dark. So you see there's a lot of things you can do. You can do a lot of manual test play on this, and I really, really like it. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, well, this seems kind of tedious, but think about it like this. There's no good Yu-Gi-Oh, like real competitive Yu-Gi-Oh apps out here today that lets you play test your deck, especially this is, on iPhone. It's also on Android. I believe Android has another app. I'm not very familiar with it, but this is the app everyone uses. I got my roommate and everyone on this app because it's just so good. It's a card database, and it lets you play test. It lets you create your boards, and I think that's really, really awesome because being able to solitaire your deck is amazing. And you just kind of learn things. And one thing I've always said is one way to like test the consistency of your deck has always been if you draw if you draw hands from your deck. Okay, so I'm going to draw 5 cards. And you see that, okay, yeah, this hand looks kind of going second, this is a much better hand. You can brick a lot, depending on, like, how your builds are, etc., etc. Like I said, I'm still working out kinks on the Thunder Dragon deck, like, to get it to 100% where I want it from the original list. And I said, even when you go to 45 cards, it seemed to be even more consistent, believe it or not, because you weren't having as many clumpy hands. But you can draw multiple hands in this deck. And as you guys can see, the second hand is much better. And I've always had this thing where you just draw hands from your deck, and you basically just lay them out on the board, and you see how many hands you get that are actually consistent. So you see, just showing you guys this option, like when you draw your deck, being able to see whatever is just really cool, because you can just see, like, okay, if I draw this hand, this is my play. I draw this hand, this is my play. And that's something you can do too. Like, I fly a lot, and when I'm on the plane, like, you can play this even in airplane mode once you have your decks. So what I really like is you can do that. And another thing is that you can just solitaire. Like, I solitaire sometimes for hours on this thing and not even realize it, like on all my breaks at work, stuff like that, and it's really, really great. So huge fan of that. Let you, like I said, let you manually play test your deck. So that's the deck feature. And now we're going to go to, they also have the ban list feature. So you will always know what the ban list is. They have the TCG advanced ban list, they have the traditional, they have the OCG, they even have the ARG, I guess from when ARG had their own ban list. But yeah, the TCG ban list, you guys can see these are all the cards that were banned. You just scroll through it, you guys see it, it should come as no surprise. And you're just able to keep up to date, and it always updates. The person who made this app is amazing at really updating this thing consistently. I've never really seen an app that really updates this great. Now, I know you guys are saying this isn't Duel Links, so yeah, that's kind of the point. Like, no offense to Duel Links, shout out to anyone who plays Duel Links. Duel Links is just not for me. Duel Links is not for me because it's not competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! It's old school Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is fun to play here and there. But if you're actually really trying to test on the go for whatever tournament you're in, this is the app you need, because this helps you actually build any deck you want and solitaire and test any deck you want. And you can even have crazy situations where you're assuming that your opponent has Effect Veiler, has Ash, has whatever, and if you're a decent player, where they'll Ash, where they'll Veiler, and you just kind of play through that on your own. You play through that on your own, and it becomes really, really handy. So yeah, there's the ban list feature, and then lastly there's the settings feature. So what I like here is you can just update the card list it'll check for images, and it says database is up to date. You could clear all images. Don't ever do that. That will make all your cards blank, so do not do that. You can check fetch all images, and it'll calculate, and you see you'd be able to, fetch all the images of cards, and it would take that much space. I'm not going to do that right now, but you do have the ability to do that. You can put the image quality. I have it set to high. If you want to set it to medium or lower, that's up to you. You set your default ban list, obviously TCG Advanced. You also can rate the app, rate it on the App Store, read about it. You can follow them on Twitter. They have a Twitter. Contact them. There's other apps that the same people make, so really, really cool. You also have the ability to remove the ads. You pay a small fee, and you can remove the ads. I have not done that yet. It's probably something I will do, though, because I'm not going to lie. Sometimes when the ads pop up, as you guys can see, it is just a little annoying, but for the most part, it's fine. But overall, I honestly believe this is without a doubt one of the best apps that any player can have. I think that it just does so much, and the first time I read about this app, I just, I was a little unsure, and then, I had some really good friends tell me about it, and they're like, dude, trust us, it's so good, being able to build a deck list. Oh, and there's one thing I completely forgot to show you guys before I close out this video. So up here, you have the ability to, do things with the deck. You can edit the name of the deck, create a new deck. So you can create a new deck and just name it. Let's just say we named it, I don't know, Danger Thunder. Say we wanted to build Danger Thunder. And, then you could create it. Then I've showed you guys that, you can search. You just type in Danger. I cannot spell, but Danger. I always put an exclamation point. There you go. Want to add one card. You pick your deck. I put Danger Thunder, add one copy. Go down to Nessie, add 3 copies. And this is pretty much how you build the deck. So it's pretty straightforward. I like it a lot. That's just to show you guys that. And then there's one last thing that I think is a very cool feature about this. So up here, as you guys can see, you have, an X. An X lets you delete the deck. This lets you edit the deck name. This lets you add to the deck, the plus sign. And then lastly, there is this little thing over here in the right corner. And this is select a deck for sharing options. Now, what's really cool about this is that you have the ability to send this to someone, or you have the ability to, do whatever. So, okay, say I wanted to share my Pure Thunder Dragon deck file and list. I usually just share deck list, so deck list only, and you're able to share it. And it's literally sharing it in a message, in Messenger, whatever. You could even copy it. You could copy it and it would show up in your notes. So let's just say here, I wanted to share it in a text message. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So I'm going to text message it. And look at that, you guys. When it pops up, you guys will be able to see that it literally will come up as a deck list. And it literally says, check out the deck I made using this app. There it is, and it's already broken down. Your main deck, it shows how many monsters, it shows how many spells, it shows how many traps, it shows the extra. It would also show the side deck if I built one. It shows this entire thing, and you can literally just text your deck list to your friend, or to whoever, to someone, to get a general opinion, and it is just amazing. But yeah, that's just one last feature I wanted to show about that. But yeah, overall, I absolutely love this app. And no, this app did not sponsor me. None of that. I don't care about any of that. I literally just wanted to share this app with everyone because I think it is just amazing. I think being able to, just have an on-the-go way to solitaire at any time is amazing. Obviously, we don't have Yugioh Pro on our phones. You could download some crazy stuff and, try to play Dueling Network on your phone. There's all these things, but at the end of the day, internet's going to be a problem. But I think the ability to just play this and just hard solitaire whenever you want is amazing. Again, being able to just play at any time, anytime you want is just great. And here you go. Right now I'm making the video talking to you guys. If I want to solitaire, I can solitaire. I have the options. I got the plays, and it just lets me see when I draw hands, this is what I can do. And trust me, it helps so much. It's how you learn your deck. It's how you practice. And overall, I think this is one of the best apps we possibly could have. The only thing I wish we could just have on here is just tokens, the ability to flip a coin, a dice, and maybe if there was ever a way to see our deck in horizontal feature, kind of on Dueling Books, stuff like that. But I'm not gonna complain. I think this app is amazing. But I'd really like to know what you guys think in the comments below. I've been wanting to make a video about this app for a really long time because I feel it does so much for so many players, and I feel that it should get a lot more attention than it does. And if this this video inspired you, you guys know what to do. Hit it with some of these. I know this video is completely different as you don't see me in the video, and bear with me. This is my first time ever screen mirroring, or whatever it's called, my phone. So if it's a little tacky, bear with me. I've never done it before. So I just felt there was no better way than to show you this app. And yeah, let me know your thoughts if you do use this app. What do you guys think about it? Do you think it's one of the best apps around? Because I definitely do for competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And just testing decks in general. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. A shout out to Yugipedia. You guys make an incredible app, and I couldn't be more thankful for it because it does so much and helps so many players. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.